This week we're exploring 5 different textures on the round gel plate. Welcome to the studio, it's Froyle here, and I'm pretty excited this week because I'm using a round gel plate. Have you used a round gel plate? I actually haven't used it much, I think maybe once. And my question is, does it inspire or contribute to the composition that you decide to put on the gel plate? Does it make you print differently having a round shape? So I decided to try 5 different textures with the round gel plate and just see if my composition does change looking at the shape and the design of the gel plate. Now I have an 8-inch or 20 centimeter round gel elf plate, and it has already made me think of curves. I pulled out my Journey Home stencil because I really liked the curve shape of this pattern. I'm already thinking in the round. And of course, I have to start with my favorite color, the Liquitex Muted Violet. I'm putting it on the plate through the stencil. Now, there are quite a few ways you can use stencils on the gel plate. You can put the paint down first, put the stencil on, take off the negative space, and there you are. Or, like I'm doing today, I'm running over the stencil and putting the paint through it and straight onto the gel plate. Then when this has dried, I'm adding a beautiful iridescent copper to pull the print onto some printmaking paper. And then I turned it over and pulled the plate off the paper, and it looks pretty nice. Pretty happy with it. I really do think the design of this stencil works well with the round shape. So I thought I just might do another one. Now I'm doing the same process, putting the paint through the stencil onto the gel plate. I've got beautiful iridescent gold. What's not to love? And I'm going to pull this print with the fabulous turquoise. And again onto some beautiful printmaking paper. So here's my first 2 explorations into the round plate land. I really like them. I think they're great. The paper might be a little thin for the amount of paint I've put on. I'm finding it hard because the plate's so small compared to what I'm used to, and I'm used to always putting on too much paint. But the print looks beautiful. I think the kuru design, the curve, really does work well with the circle plate. I mean, you can use these stencils on ordinary rectangle plates or square plates as well, but I really do like it. I think the design looks really nice. What would I do with it now? Well, I could cut it in that shape and use it for a focal point for a collage. That could work. I really like that. I don't think I would frame them in themselves. I don't think the paper was that great for a start, and I don't know, I'm not good at keeping it clean. But I definitely would use them as focal points for collage. So looking at the fabulous round shape, I'm thinking it looks like a bit of a porthole of a ship. That leads me on to texture number 2. Let's do some of the watery technique. So I've pulled out this stencil from PM Artist Studio. I think it's called Choppy Waters, and I'm using a turquoise and cobalt blue through the fabulous stencil shape straight onto the gel plate. Then I'm adding a little bit of manganese blue in the fluid, the golden fluid paint, and some phthalo as well, rolling it thin onto the plate, and then I'll give it a little bit of a spritzer, creating that fabulous watery texture that I love. Then when that layer was dry, I pulled out one of my little Meeden paints in the sky blue and ran that across the plate in some sections of the fabulous Choppy Waters. I used iridescent silver to pull the print, and I pulled it onto watercolor paper. I thought I'd try something a little thicker this time. It turned out absolutely beautiful, don't you think? It's the porthole of a ship and we're on the water. I think it looks pretty good. And being on the stronger and thicker watercolor paper, if I wanted to, I could put a frame around this. Look how good that would look with a mat around it. And this time I managed to keep the paper clean. Definitely cleaner than the last one. I could easily put a mat and a frame on it, and I could have this as a beautiful print in its own right, although I would probably add a little more collage to it. I could put perhaps a little touch up of paint in there, a little bit of Kozo paper there, but it does make a beautiful finished artwork. Ta-da, ta-da! I've moved on from collage paper. I think that was really fun. I love the watery technique, and I'm really loving the round shape of the plate. Okay, texture number 3 is layered masks, and I pulled out some of my mask shapes. These are my original designs that I created doing ink blots on the gel plate and then creating mask shapes out of them. They're a whole lot of fun, and I was thinking the shape of this one would encompass the whole round plate and it could work really well. So I'm starting with the beautiful iridescent bronze on the plate first, putting the paint down, putting the mask down, and then taking off with dollar store tissue that paint from around the shape of the mask. It really is a lot of fun, and what I'm going to do is do that a few times on the plate to build up those shapes. So when the first bronze layer was dry, I put another mask on there and rolled the paint over the mask so the paint would come through in those different shapes with, I think it's the Naples yellow reddish. It's a beautiful color. It's an Atelier paint brand, and at the moment it's one of my favorites. Then when that was dry, I put another one of the masks on and used the Naples yellow beautiful. Waited for all that to dry and then put a deep violet over the whole lot, and I'm pulling this print on to some tea bag / wet strength tissue paper that I bought recently from Amazon that I'm testing. It's a little thicker than the Carnival wet strength tissue, but it's not as porous as tea bag paper. It's kind of in the middle, but it's got a nice feel to it, and I really want to see how well it's going to pull the prints. Now it pulled up pretty beautiful, don't you think? Look at all the fabulous layers of those shapes. I really enjoyed using the masks on this one. Of course, you can use any mask shapes. You can cut them out of file folders or plastic sheeting, or you can use just cardstock or even copy paper. I've done all of that to create masks for the gel plate. Look at that. It's absolutely beautiful with all those layers and shapes, and it's quite random when you just put them on and paint through them and see what you get. I think that's really the fun part of jelly printing, is seeing what comes out in the end. So far I'm thinking this is my favorite, probably because it's the colors but also the random shapes. I really enjoy these random shapes. So I'm looking at this print now and I'm thinking the round shape to me kind of reminds me of a microscope. Looking through a microscope. So for number 4 of our textures, we're using household items. I'm going to pull out some bits and pieces and create something that looks like we're looking through a microscope. Creativity really is all about developing your ideas, trying one idea, moving on to the next idea and seeing where that leads you. The first print leads to the second print, which leads to the third print, and now we're up to the fourth print. I've pulled out some yarn from my drawer and I've got a tiny little cardboard roll. You've got to love paper packaging. So I've put the deep purple on the plate, put the yarn down, and I'm pulling off the paint from around the yarn with dollar store tissue. Now, the first time I pulled the paint up, there was still a lot of paint on the plate because, yes, the plate's so small compared to what I'm used to. I'm still putting too much paint on it. But the second piece of dollar store tissue took more of the paint off, and now we have a beautiful print of just the yarn. Then I've pulled out my little cardboard tube and I'm adding little circles to it because it's like my little amoebas on the microscope. On the slide under the microscope. What? You can't see that? I think it's pretty obvious. You've got to have a bit of fun when you're creating these prints. Now, when my amoebas were actually dry on that layer, I rolled on some beautiful iridescent gold and I gave it a little bit of a spritzer just to break up the paint. I just wanted a nice shimmering surface, and then when that was dry, I rolled on the unbleached titanium and pulled it onto my new wet strength / tea bag paper, and it's just going to be a bit of fun to see how this print turns out. Ta-da, ta-da! What do you think about the print? I think that's a whole lot of fun. And of course, you can use so many household items. I love paper packaging. I love the corrugated card. I love the bubble wrap, the string, the yarn, the cardboard rolls. It's endless what we can use, especially from around the house and what comes into our house with the packaging. It's free tools for the gel plate. Make sure you have a rummage around and find some really cool shapes for your printing. I really like this. What do you think? I really like the little shimmer of gold that I added to that layer. That turned out really good. I'm thinking I like my little amoebas and my microscopic view. I think it's a whole lot of fun, and it turned out really well. And you could do this kind of thing so many ways with so many different items, especially once you get on a roll of printing, right? There's so many possibilities. I could have kept printing with this idea of number 4 with the household items, because I've got so many things in my drawer, a whole big box of bits and pieces that I like to use on the gel plate, but I didn't. I resisted. I wanted to move on to number 5, a gel plate collage. Now, this is a technique I've been playing with recently. I'm starting with the transparent red iron oxide on the plate. It's beading up, which is fabulous. I let that dry and put on some beautiful magenta. Now, my idea was to pull out some of the beautiful Kozo paper, handmade stunning paper in the white, put that on the gel plate with the wet paint and pull that with the print. That's the idea of my gel plate collage. So I rolled on some of the beautiful deep violet and put the Kozo paper on, let all that layer dry, and then I rolled on the Naples yellow reddish stunning color, left it for quite some time. Now, because of the paper on the plate, you do need to put an extra bit of the paint on to pull it up because it's so absorbent. So then you do need to let this dry longer than what a paint layer would be. So, being the patient person that I am, I left it for an hour, maybe and a half, perhaps. It's only small. And then I pulled the print. But I wasn't so excited about the final result of this print. It didn't actually quite work the way I wanted. Does that ever happen to you? Or is it just me? Now, when I'm exploring different techniques and trying ideas on the gel plate, sometimes the prints actually don't work, and there's no way around that. To develop your creativity, to become better with your artistic expression, you're going to have to go through a few bumps, have a few failures, work out what works, what doesn't work, and try again. There is no shortcut to experience. It's mileage under the brush, baby, and that's all there is to it. I was very disappointed with this print. It didn't turn out how I wanted at all. And I actually do think it was the paint layer. I did add some bronze onto this area and scumbled over it with a brush, wanting to add a few highlights. I was trying to save it really, but it really didn't turn out how I wanted. I do think it was the paint that I put on the plate because it was darker than the paint that I used to pull the print. That's what I'm thinking. Now, I haven't been doing this very long using the Kozo paper, but when it's worked, it's been amazing. The Kozo paper comes through and you see all the beautiful shapes of the textured paper. That's what I was trying to do, but clearly I didn't have the right paint color. So I'm thinking, let's just try it again. That's the only way you know how to do something, is to keep trying. And don't get stressed out if something doesn't work. It's not a failure. It's just a learning curve of what not to do when you're trying that technique. You can't let it discourage you or be too disappointed about it. You just go, okay, that paint color didn't work, clearly. Let's try another one. So I'm using the same colors. I'm using the transparent red iron oxide on the plate first, letting that bead up and then putting on the magenta. This time I'm not adding any extra paint to the plate for the paper to stick on. I think it was still a little bit wet, so that's what I was hoping. Although what I did do was spray a little spritzer of water on the paper so it would absorb more onto the paint layer, so that when I pull the print, it comes off all embedded in the paint. That's what I'm hoping. But again, I'm trying an idea. I'm working on a technique. I will master this eventually, but right now it's all part of the journey. Then I rolled on the same Naples yellow reddish beautiful color and put it onto that wet strength tissue, and I left it to dry for over an hour because I went and did a couple of other jobs. Maybe 2 hours this time I let it dry for, and then I pulled it off the plate. Now this one did turn out a lot better, and we've learned something. Don't put the dark paint on the plate under the Kozo paper and the light paint layer to pull the print, because that didn't work. You can't see it. But if you don't put that paint layer down and you pull the print with a different color, look how beautiful that is. See how you can see the Kozo paper? I think this one's called Pebbles or Stones, one of those ones. And you can see all the fabulous shapes of the beautiful paper. I just love that. There's so many possibilities to explore this idea. Now, I sprayed it with the spritzer of water because I wasn't sure that the paint layer was still wet enough to stick the paper. But it wasn't dry enough to add anything else, because you can add a little gloss medium onto the plate on the dry paint so that the paper sticks to it. That works really well. I have done that before, especially if you've got a few layers of paper and you want it all to be stuck together and embedded so you can pull it easily off the plate. But this one worked out a lot better. I'm much happier with it. It's moving more in the direction of what I was trying to achieve with the Kozo paper. I think the texture of this looks fabulous with the beaded up watery technique at the top and the Kozo paper at the bottom. Yes, I'm happier with this one. Much happier. So what do you think about that? All of the fabulous prints from the round gel plate. Well, I do think it was a lot of fun. And I do think for me personally, the round gel plate did inspire the composition, because I was having a lot of fun with the microscope idea, and I did really love the porthole, looking out the porthole on the ship, watching the waves go by. And I do think I chose this stencil because of the curvy shapes. And these masks worked beautifully because they were just captured within the circumference of the round shape. So for me, yes, it did inspire my composition, and I did create accordingly to the size and the shape of the gel plate. So, have you tried a round gel plate? I'd love to know. Let me know what you think. I think I would like to get a bigger round gel plate if I'm going to do more round gel plate prints because it was a little small, but then I am used to the 16 by 20 inch. Now, I hope you were inspired today with my 5 textures for the round plate. Of course, you can use these textures on any size, rectangle, square. And I do hope you were encouraged with my print that didn't work. You have to push on, you have to try again. And now I know not to use that dark color underneath with the light color on top. It might work out better the other way around, but this worked out even better not having the extra paint layer on. So I learned something absolutely valuable today. I hope that encourages you to push on with your creative ideas, with your jelly printing or your mixed media or your painting or whatever it is that you are doing. Don't get stuck on the ones that don't work. Push past the pain barrier. Keep going. Keep yourself encouraged and try the next idea. Thanks for joining me today. I had a lot of fun creating these prints. I think They turned out beautiful. They have great possibilities, and I do think I would use them for focal points on other collages. Don't forget, you can find out more information in the description under the video or on my website, froilart.com. And I hope you come back and join me again next week, and let's see what we will be creating with these fabulous adventures.